February 7th, we had our first $19,000 week, which is $1 million run rate, which means that if we could do $19,000 a week for 52 straight weeks, we would have $1 million business. And that is our goal. Our goal is to build this Mesa location to $1 million. And so that was the first time we hit it. And we're like, okay, cool. Now let's do it again. It's been really challenging because that week that we hit it, we had 16 cleaners. And as of today, there's only 4 cleaners from those original 16 that are still in the team. And to be completely fair, probably only 2 of those cleaners there's probably gonna be 2 more who we might have to let go this week. So it's been big changes. It's been a lot of change. We've hired 33 cleaners since February 7th. And most of them haven't worked out. And I just saw this post inside the free Facebook group. And this gal said, we hired a cleaner on Indeed before and it worked. And we go to hire our next person and it hasn't worked so far. And she's like, we're looking to hire 1 full-time person and 1 part-time person. And so the advice I gave her, which is the advice I'll give to everybody on here as well, is that your expectations for how much work is required in order for you to find a really good cleaner is probably just needs to be turned up a little bit. And so I shared with her the data that happened last week. And so I'll just show the data. Well, it's actually in the vision sheet, so you guys will see it, but I will prelude it to say that we had 76 people who applied to our website, which means we had over 100 people who applied on Indeed. We did 50-something phone interviews. We did 20-something Zoom interviews, and we hired 6 people. So we had to get 100 applicants in order to hire 6 people. And so sometimes we just need to have a different expectation of how much work or how much volume is required in order for us to get the outcome we're looking for. And it's very similar to when somebody says, oh, I tried marketing one time, it didn't work. And the reality is, it's like nothing works the first time. In fact, you're going to have it not work for a period of time in order for you to finally figure it out. And once you figure it out, it's still like, even when it works good, it still works about 20% of the time. And so another expectation that you guys will see as we get down in here into the vision sheet is how many people will actually tell you yes, for some people will tell you no. And so there was another post inside the free Facebook group where someone's like, Facebook leads are trash, they're garbage. You know, I get so many of them and they never answer their phone or they never call me back. Like, all Facebook leads are trash. And so again, back to expectations. Been marketing on Facebook since 2017. So 8 years. For 8 years I've been on Facebook. And that guy's right. Facebook definitely doesn't work. Definitely not. I've just spent, I don't even know how much right now, probably close to $500,000 on Facebook, like with my own money, like not mommy and daddy's money, not loaning it, not money from somebody else, like my personal money. I've spent well over $500,000 on Facebook. And it definitely doesn't work. That's why I spend so much money, right? Doesn't work. But yeah, you have to spend. You have to learn, and how you learn is by you spend money and you make mistakes. You suck at it until you suck less at it. And so when you're doing good, and you get 100 leads, converting 20 of those people to paying clients is like exceptional. Which means that 80 people are either going to ignore you, they're going to block you, they're going to say I didn't sign up for this, they're going to say you're a scam, they're actually get on a phone call, and they're actually going to tell you, I got to think about it, I got to talk to my spouse, can I call you back? Is this a good number for you? Or they're just going to freaking tell you, no, you're too expensive. That's outrageous. You're cleaners, for God's sakes. That's more than I make. I'm a doctor. $80 people are going to tell you no in one of those variations. And you're doing good, like really good. And so having an expectation of that happening, you're like, okay, I'm doing good. I closed 20% of my leads. And so I think that's the main thing that I want to share with everybody who's watching this today. Whether you're doing 20,000 a month, whether you're doing 50, 60, 70, whether you're doing $100,000 a month. It's just expectations of what it actually takes to build something. And not just build something on accident, but to build something predictably, something you can predictably grow week in, week out, month in, month out, and year after year. It doesn't happen on accident. It doesn't happen by not marketing, by not spending money, by not investing time and energy. So I'm going to share with you guys the data, the vision sheet from last week. What week is this? This is week number 59. We're week number 59, Katie. We've been doing this for 59 straight weeks. Crazy. How many of you guys have been on for 59 straight weeks? Anybody? Maybe out here the whole time? Close. Maybe Marie. She's been here most of the time. Okay. Can you guys see my screen? How's the audio sound, Katie? Is it good enough?
It's good enough.
It's good enough. Is it echoey?
Yeah, but it's better than you cutting out.
Okay. So week number 59 makes a 5-star cleaning. So 60 weeks ago, this business didn't even exist. And this month we're projected to do $68,000, which is actually up from last week, which is cool to see. Actually, we had a nice little bump. Last 3 days revenue, 74,000. So you guys can see over the last 4 weeks, we've been steadily going down. However, it's still greater than 4 weeks ago, which was 72. It's exciting. Next 3 days revenue, 50,000. Trailing 12 months revenue. So over the last 12 months, we've done $588,000, closing on 600,000. Hopefully, if we do the math on this, looks like we're growing by about 11 or 12. So maybe by next week, we'll hit 600,000. We'll have a $600,000 annual business in 59 weeks. It's not too bad. Current monthly revenue, we're currently at $59,000. And then weekly revenue. Okay, what is this at?
Oh, 16,000.
Yeah. It's an increase over the last 2 weeks. It's exciting to see. We were going down. Now we'll see if we can do it again. We'll see if we can go up two weeks in a row. Total recurring clients, 167. So this is actually up just barely, but still up. Weekly clean, 61. Revenue per clean was up 271. Do you know why this was up, Katie?
Big cleans.
Yeah. I think Alaya sold $2,000 cleans last week. It's crazy. Cleaners, look at this, guys. Last week we had 13 cleaners. This week,
20.
Yeah. 20 cleaners. How do you do that, Katie? How do you go from 13 cleaners to 20?
Started 2 weeks ago. You have to interview them on the phone. Then you have to interview them on Zoom. Then they have to show up to onboarding. Then they have to show up to training for the entire week. And then we get 20.
Yeah. It's been a lot of work. And we got to keep doing the work, unfortunately, or fortunately, whatever you want to look at it. But if you want this number to keep going, you got to continue to do the work. So we had 26 assigned cleaning hours and then 339. I don't know if this number is correct, actually, now that I'm saying this, but we'll poke down at the bottom and see. So as far as our weekly revenue was 16,000, our initial clean revenue was at 5,000, which is not too bad. And then our recurring revenue is 11,000. So hope those numbers aren't too far off of where we need them to be. And yeah, now that we have cleaners, now the area of focus is fill in the freaking schedules, QuickBooks, we collected 54,000. We have $3,700 less than 7 days, and then 1,100 greater than 7 days. So this is still something that is still up. We haven't solved this problem of collecting monies. So this will be something that we talk about today. On our team meeting with our office staff, our vision meeting with our office staff is who's in charge of collecting the monies. Discounts, didn't give away a ton of discounts. We had a couple correction claims, Google review discount, and then a homepage voucher. We did send a text message last week. We sent it to Think About It. And marketing. So marketing, we definitely have marketing down. Spent $387 on Google LSA, $710 on Facebook, so a total of $1,100. We got 35 Facebook leads, 2 Facebook Messenger, 10 missed calls, 6 Google services, 10 homepage leads, 9 incoming call leads, for a total of 72 leads, and a cost per lead of $15. So this is another question that is prompted from a post I made inside the free Facebook group. Someone said, how do you attribute the $15 a lead to your incoming calls? And so if you guys are watching this, you guys can see it, but if you're listening to this, math problem is very simple. We just add up the total number of money spent on Google and Facebook, and then we take our total number of leads that we got from both Google, Facebook, and what most people consider organic, which is homepage and then phone calls. And we just combine those. We take the number money is spent versus the total leads that we divide the ad spend divided by the total leads, and we get a cost per lead, $15. The reason why we do that is because, in my experience, a lot of the leads that come organically have seen our marketing before. And this is the part that big businesses understand and small businesses don't. And also, so, like, if you look at big businesses, like, they will spend money on marketing that has no call to action, right? So the type of marketing that we do is called direct response, which means that we put an ad out there and we want them to do something. Most big brands don't do direct response. Like, you guys think about Coca-Cola, you guys think about Pepsi. Like, they don't ever ask you to go buy a Coke or a Pepsi. They just have some commercial that tries to put an image in your mind of the type of person who drinks Pepsi or Coke are, and you want to be that person. That's their goal. That's their goal. That's branding marketing. And so, and they just do it so much. Like, you guys see the commercials, like they keep coming, they keep coming. And so what they know is that humans like to buy things that they know. And so if you're in a store, you're like, okay, now I want a pop. And you're looking around, like, you're looking at Pepsi, looking at Coke, and all of a sudden you see the Shasta over here, right? Do they make Shasta anymore? I don't know if they make Shasta anymore. But, like, you're like, I'm going to probably buy Pepsi or Coke. Those are the products I know. I've never even heard of Shasta. But where Shasta's value comes in is that it's just cheaper, right? So the 12-pack for Pepsi and Coke is, I mean, what pops cost? Let's just call it $10, right? Where Shasta is $7.99. And so that's what Shasta does. Instead of them having to market, they just know exactly what Pepsi and Coke charge, and they're just going to undercut them. And you know what? There's a buyer for both. There's a buyer for both Shasta and for Pepsi and Coke. That's why they're still both on the market. That's why they're still both on the shelf. And so understanding that your marketing, when it comes to your homepage leads and it comes to your incoming call leads, you will get more of those when you market, because people will see your ad and they're maybe not ready at the moment. But as soon as they are ready, they're going to start Googling cleaning services in their area. And all of a sudden they're going to see your name. They're like, oh yeah, I remember that ad. And all of a sudden that right there is what gets them to call you first. Now, as long as you pick up the phone and answer it, the probability of you getting that sale is much higher, because you also have built trust because they've seen your ad over here. And so that's why we allocate those things together, is that in all my years of marketing, like, our organic leads go up significantly when we're spending money on marketing. Okay. So we have $15 lead. We had 9 spots that were unfilled last week, and we had 53 spots open. So this is actually pretty exciting. We have 53 spots, which means we can do some selling. It's been a minute since we've been able to do some selling. And so last week our phone calls were pretty pathetic. We did 153 phone calls. It wasn't the priority last week. We had 40 incoming calls answered. We had 30 calls missed. We had 22 quote calls that were scheduled. 12 of them showed up and performed 23. And out of those 23, We booked 13. 13 is, I don't know, the last time I've seen a number under 20. So it's very low. However, look at the amount, $7,000. So like we sold pretty big claims. Crazy to see. So that part is exciting to see, is that while the volume of quotes were down, the average sale was really like really good. Really good. And then our marketing ad spend ratio was every dollar we put in marketing, we got $7 back. So this is a number that I look at every single week. How much money are we getting back on our marketing? And so if you guys want to know how we have been able to grow a business in 59 weeks, that it has done almost $600,000 in annual revenue. And I started with 0 clients, mind you. Like we were doing $400, $1,000 a week, not very like 1 year ago. That's how much we were doing a week. And so how you're able to grow that fast, there's only one way you can do that. And that's by getting your new clients to pay for your marketing. It's the only way you can do that. And that's exactly what this means. For every dollar we put into marketing, we got $7 back out. Would you make that trade? Would you put $1 into marketing to get $7 back out?
All day.
Okay. That's how you can grow really fast. Now, Katie, what could stop you from growing really fast? Even if you have a marketing system that prints you money, what can stop you from growing?
Don't have cleaners schedules available.
We've got the freaking cleaners. Right? And so that's something that we've been focused on since the very beginning. We came out of the gates hiring cleaners as fast as we possibly could. As fast as we could bring them on, hire them, onboard them, train them. We did it, and that's why we grew so fast. And the reason why we've stopped growing is because they left. Our cleaners were leaving quicker than we could bring them back in. And so we had to, guess we had to do. We had to complain. We had to feel really bad for ourselves. That's what we had to do. That's what changed the whole thing, is we just started feeling bad for ourselves. We started complaining a lot. We started talking about how there's no good people out there. And then everything just changed, guys. It was crazy. We just bitched, and all of a sudden the life got better. That's what happened. Yeah. I mean, all those things did happen. It's not the reason that it changed. It changed because our behaviors changed. We thought we were doing enough, but we weren't doing enough. We had to do more. We had to spend more money. We spent, I think, $600 on Indeed last week. $600, just more than some people will spend ever in their lives on Indeed. There's some people in here who don't even have to pay for marketing on Indeed. They're like, I get enough leads for free. Like, yeah, that's why your business is small. Like, it's fine. But I'm like, if you want to grow a fast business, my goal is just to show you how to actually grow a fast business. It's not for everybody. I promise you, it's not for everybody. It's hard. It's challenging, because when shit gets hard, you got to get better, not bitter. You can't complain. Guess what? We had to spend more money. We had to do more interviews. We had to hire more people, which means we had to have more people not show up, more people not make it through onboardings, more people, we had to fire more people. Like, growing a $1 million business ain't for everybody. Most people really don't have the emotional aptitude to be able to do it. So my goal is to show you if you even want to do it, here's what it takes. It takes spending money, it takes spending time, and there is no guarantee that it comes back. There is no guarantee. We'll see. Well, it never comes back. Does anyone here know how many businesses actually make it to $1 million? How many businesses actually make it to $1 million? Does anyone know the number? Yeah. Not a lot, very few. It's less than 10%. It's less than 10%. Which means that for 1 out of every 10 businesses that get started, less than 1 of them is going to make it. It ain't easy. But do you know why but here's another stat that I would love to see. And I don't know if this is out there. So if you guys can find it, please share it. How many people who have built $1 million business have built another $1 million business? I would like to see that. because I also believe that once you've done it and you understand the inputs, you understand what's required, you understand all the problems that come with it, you're more likely to do it again. I should say you have the skills to be able to do it again. Now, whether you want to do it again, everyone has their own goals. Everyone has different goals. That's why business is unique, is that like everyone has different problems that they're trying to solve. And maybe $1 million business doesn't solve your problem. I just did a podcast last week. Someone asked me to be on a podcast. And the whole I was like, what problem do you want me to help you solve on this podcast? Like, I just want to be helpful. I want to go, like, I want to know what problem we're trying to solve. He's like, the people who watch this podcast are people who are making 6 figures a year, or their businesses are doing 6 figures and they want to grow to 7 figures, right? So the businesses are doing $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 a year, $400,000, and they want to get to the 7 figures. They want to get to $1 million plus. It's okay, cool. So now I know what problem I'm trying to solve. And so, so every time he asked me a question, I just always thought about it from that frame. And honestly, it's pretty easy because like it's exactly what I think about every time I'm helping anybody who I coach or anybody who asks for advice. It's what I do every single day. I help people go from 6 figures to 7 figures. Like that is actually how my brain thinks. And so as I was doing this podcast, I had to tell my story. And I was like, shit. I forgot how long it took me. It took me 9 years from the moment I started my first business in 2013. It was like the very end of 2013 till 2023 was the first year that I actually had a business that actually did $1 million in revenue. 9 years later. It took me 9 years to actually have one business do $1 million. And so like it takes time. And that's with me. Like I had invested lots of money into coaching. I had invested a lot of time, energy. Like it's been a priority of mine. But it's funny because I look back on it and I was like, oh, I look back on when I was in 2013, when I committed to start my first business, and how dedicated I thought I was. And I just didn't know what I didn't know. And now, 12 years later, like what I thought I prioritized, as I look at my actions and my behaviors, there's different levels of prioritization towards a business or towards a goal. And so a lot of the inputs, a lot of the thing that's required, like most people just actually don't know what's required. And so I think just understanding what's required can either help you get there quicker or just help you make the decision of like, that's actually not what I want. Either way. And so I think that's my goal, just to share like what's actually required. And so it's gonna take a lot of time, energy, it's gonna take a lot of discipline, it's gonna take investing a lot of money. And one of the best pieces of advice that I ever heard was that if you're gonna be worried about $50, you're never going to make $1 million. That's $50 for gas, $50 for dinner, $50. Like if $50 just leaves your freaking wallet and never comes back, and you're concerned about it, you're so focused on conserving $50 and going and making $1 million. And that type of mentality it's like an investor mentality. It's like an investor mentality. And that's really what it takes, because it takes a lot. It takes a lot of giving. And it might not ever come back. Another cool thing I saw the other day. The guy talked about starting a business. He's like, most people who start a business for money, they never actually make money. I think that's why, and honestly, that's why most people in here started their businesses, to make money. They were cleaners or they had a job. They're like, I want to go like do my own thing. I mean, that's exactly where I was, right? I was like, And I quickly had to make a shift where it wasn't about money. I just wanted to serve, I wanted to help. And even my very first business with personal training, like I had no business plan. I had no idea about marketing. I had no idea about sales. I did not care about business. I just cared about helping my clients. I just wanted to put them in an environment where I believed it would have the best opportunity in order for them to get the result. It wasn't until 3 years in that I was like, shit, if I want to keep doing this, I got to learn marketing, sales. I got to make some money. But the start of it had nothing to do with making money. Nothing to do with entrepreneurship. Nothing to do with anything outside of like the whole reason I did it was just to serve. And so looking back at it, I'm like, how did I live so poor for so long? How was I so broke for so long? But I never felt poor because like I was actually doing what I wanted to do. I wanted to help people. I just wanted to serve people. That's all. I just want to do it at what I believed at the time to be the best possible environment. And so like it wasn't ever hard for me. And so I think taking that and like and you being able to apply it to your business, like care less about money and care more about just helping and serving and using money as a measurement of progress rather than the end goal. And so that's why the road to $1 million is focused on progress. Like the goal is arbitrary. Now, there's some standards that go with the $1 million mark that allows for Katie and I to be able to pay talented people in order to operate the business and it still make it worthwhile for Katie and I to own the business. The 83K mark that is important in there as well. Outside of that, like we're not like once we hit 83K, we're not stopping. Just like with our first location, we didn't stop. We're going to continue to go because it's all about progress. It's continuing to move forward, continuing to see how can we make this bigger and better and create more opportunities for more people. I think that's one of the things that I'm starting to get more clarity on too, is like, what is our purpose? Like, what is our mission? And I think we have an external mission for our cleaning businesses, which is create a 5-star experience. And then I think I have an internal mission of like, I want to create an opportunity for people to be able to have uncapped income without having to take the risk of having to start a business with no education, no money, and no real chance at actually ever growing something. And so I think that is my internal mission, is to be able to provide opportunities for people inside my team to be able to start as cleaners, scrubbing toilets, mopping floors, to be able to eventually come to the office, learn how to sell, learn how to recruit, get a better idea of like what it actually takes for a business to operate, and eventually to bring them into a role where they're actually running a company. And then they get to have an uncapped income based on their skill level, of course. Just like you as entrepreneurs all you guys all have uncapped income. And guess what's stopping you from making $200,000 to take home a year? Yeah, exactly. Your skills. Like to be particular, like it's not you, Alyssa or Janessa or Marie. Like it's not you as the human being, it's your skill sets, which your skill sets can be taught. They can be practiced. So that's my internal mission, to grow a bunch of entrepreneurs, to like teach them the skills that's required and like take this thing take it as far as you possibly can. And I'm going to help you. I'm going to be your best freaking resource, but you're the one who's going to be responsible for it. Okay, back to the vision sheet. So we booked 4 conversions last week at a total of $1,000. So that number is cool to see, even though it's well below our conversion goal. The $1,000 is pretty nice to see. All right, we had 10 new cleans, 51 recurring cleans, so a total of 61 cleans, 3 correction cleans, 167 recurring clients, 118 occasional clients. Those 4 new conversions were 40%, which is pretty good. We had 4 Google reviews. We're sitting at 471. Canceled recurring clients, only 2 people. Leah Hill, somebody's talking to me, so Look at this. I sold Leah Hill way back in the day. Both these clients were people I sold, and they both said, leave me alone. Take me off all the future appointments. Leah Hill. Kitty, you want to tell the story of Leah Hill? You actually cleaned Leah Hill's house as well.
Yeah, she complained about me. I remember that. I was also the person doing the follow-up calls the next day asking how the clean went with their cleaner, so that was fun. Oh, she thinks she's really, really clean, and she thinks she wants like a detailed clean every single time you walk into her house, but she honestly, she doesn't know what she wants, so we can never meet her expectations. But she's stuck with us for a year, so
Yeah, look at that. Her 1 year anniversary.
yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. But we did get 4 more new clients as well. So we netted 700, even though we only gained 2 necessarily. We netted $700 recurring, which is actually cool to see.
Wait, hold on, go back up really quick. There's a cool story of Nick Adamson on there on the newly converted side. So during our cleaner loss phase, we didn't show up to this guy's clean. And he's been with us since I believe April as well. Logan, I think
Yeah.
you sold him.
I sold him too. He was on last week's sheet. I was very disappointed that we lost him. So
Yeah. And then we gained him back. We called him and took ownership for it, and he's back on the schedule.
So what's the lesson to learn there? Once they say no, we should ignore them. We should just say F off. Like, I can't believe you would ditch us after a year. Why would you do this to me? Why? You make me cry. My life's already hard enough. I've already lost 47 other recurring clients. Why is it gotta be me? That's what we should have done, right? Right? Is that what we did? That's how we won them back, right? That's how we won them back. I'm sure it was. I'm sure we just complained.
Yeah, for sure.
Sure we did it. Sure we did it. So yeah, so we called Nick back and we said, my bad, dude. We didn't show up. We'll take responsibility for it. We'd love the opportunity to be able to help you again. And you know what? It made his life easier. Have him go find another cleaner. That's it. And you know what? Hopefully we show up this time. Hopefully we show up. Yeah, so we had $2,600 in claims fall off the schedule last week. We did charge Diana Bianchini. Other than that, everybody else fell off. Look at this. Does anyone know who Laura Croft is? Croft. It says Croft. Yeah. Croft. Who knows who Laura Croft is? One of our cleaners today was like on it. She was so good. Yeah, there you go, Bobby. Bobby got it. Tomb Raider. So good. So good. Okay. So here's the inputs. Ready? This is the inputs that are going to scare some people. They want to know what's actually freaking possible. This all happened in a week. Yeah. And then Susan Bianchini's sister. That's good, Lucas. Yeah. Diana Bianchini, Susan's sister. So good. Okay, so cleaner acquisition. So we spent only $273, which is actually pretty cool. We got 73 applicants. So we actually had more applicants on Indeed, and then we deny some of them, and then some of them we just put them, and then the rest of them we put them into our Indeed. And then these are the people who actually go to our website and actually apply so they can book a phone interview. So we had 73 people actually go to our website and apply from Indeed. 61 scheduled to interview, 59 showed up. 59 phone interviews. That's 12 a day. Is that right? 12 times 5 is 60. That's 12 phone interviews a day. And then from there, we scheduled 32 Zoom interviews. 9 of them didn't show up. 23 did. We did 23 Zooms. That's like 4.5 a day. We did 4.5 Zooms a day. 4.5 Zoom interviews a day. Hired 6 cleaners. Wild numbers. Wild numbers. I think, just so you guys know, last week, we also had pretty good numbers too. So like, this isn't just a one-time week. Like, we've been doing this for 4 weeks. We've been hiring like crazy. Last week, we had 55 scheduled, 47 performed, 21 scheduled, 17 performed, 7 hired last week. We spent a little more money. a little bit more money last week. And the week before that, again, let me just show you like what it takes. Like this is again, I sold that we got 10, that we got 20 cleaners from 13 last week, but it just didn't happen in 1 week. It happened over the course of the last really 8 weeks. 42 applicants, 32 performed phone interviews, 29 performed Zoom interviews, 7 hired before that. Like some of these people didn't make it, guys. Like we just kept hiring. You're like, they didn't make it, they showed onboarding. My God, they don't want the job that bad. It's fine. Hire the next one. Week before that, 22 phone interviews performed, 12 Zooms, and we've hired 4. So again, those are the last 4 weeks of data. We've been on a rampage. Okay. So this is our pipeline right now. Look at all these people in the pipeline. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have 13 people who are currently in the pipeline. And I think out of those 13, all but 4 of them, no, 5 of them have actually got onboarded. So the pipeline is fat right now. Yeah. It's thick. I like that. It's thick. And look at this. Keith. Keith was one of he was in his 2nd week or 3rd week. Didn't make it. And was fine. Like he wasn't a good culture fit. Wasn't a good culture fit. And so like this morning, Kate and I showed up to the team meeting and like we're meeting people. Like I got to meet Drew, seemed like a good guy. I got to meet Levi, got to meet Kelsey. Like these are people who like I'm just meeting at the team meeting this morning. It was great. Right. And so like we just have been putting our effort into hiring people. And so as far as cleaners are concerned, yeah, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 cleaners who counted, and we had 7 cleaners who hours didn't count last week. So just so you guys know, these cleaners hours who don't count, like it's very expensive. It's the cost that you can't see the hiring until you go to payroll, until you go to the end of the month and look at your cost of goods sold. And you're like, dang, my cost of goods sold was a little high this month. Part of training. Right? And so yes, like it is expensive. It's expensive. And that's the reason why this is the reason why less than 10%, 9% of people won't make it to $1 million business. It's because you got to be committed. You have to be committed to make it to $1 million. It doesn't happen on accident. Like this is the part that I will tell you from having done this once and doing it again is like you have to be 100% committed because you're going to get resistance. You're going to get cleaners who quit. You're going to get people. You're going to get clients who quit. You're going to get office staff who quits. Shit, even you're going to freaking quit. Okay. And guess what? Nobody cares. No one feels bad for you. And no one's coming to save you. And so despite having all this external resistance and having all this evidence that shows that you're not doing good enough, you have to spend more money. You have to hire more people. You have to do more phone calls. You got to get told no more times. You have to have more cleaners not show up. You have to have more cleaners quit in order for your business to continue to grow. Because you have to know where you're going to go. You have to know why you want to get to 83K. The only reason you would really want to get to 83K is if you want to have a business that has money to pay you a very handsome salary without you being the one who operates the business. When I say operates, I mean that you're not the one who's handling, when cleaners call out, you're not handling it. When clients cancel, you're not handling it. The reason why that's important for you eventually to get out of, is because the business needs a stable human being in this business. And when everybody is freaking crazy, then we make bad decisions. But we need somebody who is removed from the emotion of the business, but also has the most perspective on where we're going to go in the future, so we can make decisions based on where we're going, not based on this one fire by this one client, this one thing we're having at the very, very moment. Oh my God, someone just filed unemployment. Someone filed workman's comp. Like, someone else needs to handle that, so then you can make an emotional decision. So you can emotionally be able to continue to like move the path forward despite all these things that are trying to distract, trying to stop you, trying to tell you, no, stop growing, stop, 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 stop. Because guess what? People are going to tell you to stop. You're gonna convince yourself that you're going to want to stop. That's it. And so, like, for me, that's always been the value of coaching and mentors, is that like I always find somebody who's much smarter than I am, someone who's much further along than I am, and I just listen. Just like I give myself, just like, tell me what I need to do. Because that person is not emotional. They don't have the emotion, all the things that are happening. They just have perspective, and they have wisdom, and they have experience, and they also hopefully they also have your best interest in mind at the same time. And if you have that, that's like the value of having an outsider in your business. So if you're not there, then like that's like you need that person to help you get there. And then once you get there, ideally, then you can, like, once you get yourself removed from the business, eventually like you can be that person in your business. That's the goal. That's the goal. Dang. Spinner hours are pretty good. So yeah, we had 339 cleaner hours. Average cleaner hours was 26, and our average actual man hour rate was $48. So again, there's where you're gonna start to see our revenue start to, like, you see the associated man hour rate get affected by all the trainees, because we had all that revenue, but it wasn't all billable. And if we'd have added these 30, 60, yeah, that's almost 120 hours. If we'd added 120 hours back in here, like, let's just do this. Let me just show you guys right here. So these hours would have counted. Oh, by the way, that'd have been worse. Yeah, that's interesting. I'll say that is, summer's really low.
It's the client complaints.
Maybe that's what it is. Anyway, it's low. It's low either way. It's not very good. It's not very good. I think last week, let's just look at last week's data. Let's compare it. Last week we're at 63. Before that, we were at 55, which is on the money. So before that was 54. So again, this is why we have previous data, is because we're not going to freak out about one bad week. Again, another piece of a different belief to have as you're in business longer is like, the longer timeline you can have, the less concerned you are about today and this week and this month, the better decisions you can make. And that way, in 1 year, you're like, okay, I'm really glad I decided to make the decision that I did today, because I was thinking about where we were going in a year, not just trying to react to all the problems that are happening today. So again, another selling point of like trying to be either having somebody in your life or being the person in your life who can be emotionally stable. And that it's not the person who's handling all the fires. And then, yeah, we had one cleaner one-on-one, which was Keith. And Keith is no longer on the team. So, okay, cool. Okay, what are your thoughts on week number 59 in Mesa 5-star home cleaning?
Yeah. So with the move into the new office, we also had a move-in clean performed that I got to go in and check afterwards, as we are moving all of the items from our other office location into this office location. And I will tell you, our cleaners are all brand spanking new, and they suck at cleaning. I got to see it firsthand. So just anticipating, with like, people are not going to learn how to clean in 5 days. Like, they're not going to be perfect at what they do in 5 days. So they're going to go over, they're going to not be very good. They're going to end up, the client's going to point things out through the walkthrough, but the only way that they can get better is like reps. So we have to give them the opportunity to suck a little bit at first, provide very quick feedback, improve our feedback cycle, and they will improve. So a young team, it has its own challenges, but I would rather have a young team than a small team. A young big team versus a great small team.
Yeah. You're just going to be able to produce more revenue. And like that's at the end of the day, it's like you need enough revenue in order for you to actually operate a business that doesn't involve you as the owner being the one who has to operate it. Like, that only comes with having enough revenue. And so again, if you want a job, like just go get a job. Like then at least you'll guarantee to have a paycheck. When you guys have not had paychecks before and you work like 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 hours in a week, you're like, break. But that's like the truth. Like the truth of the matter is like when you become an entrepreneur, what they don't tell you is that you're going to spend at least the next 5 years of your life making less money than you did before. So part of the game. Part of the game. And then after that, you might not even make more money after that. But at least you have the freedom. At least you can you don't take a vacation. You don't have to ask your boss to take a vacation. You can just go. That's what they sell you. But like, again, this is where I'm like, I think entrepreneurship is overrated. I really do. Like I say that with no jest. I just knowing what I know now, like I would not recommend most people doing entrepreneurship. I recommend entrepreneurship. That's why like I'm just like again, like you can have all the benefits of entrepreneurship without having all the downside of entrepreneurship. Like sign me up for that. I would have been that person all day long. Katie is that person. Like Katie is that person. Katie's an entrepreneur. I think most people actually are as well. So
I think the C students are the entrepreneurs and the A students are the entrepreneurs.
no, let's see. Okay, cool. So I do have something I'm going to give away here today. So for some of you guys, I see a lot of you guys here are actually inside the coaching program. I think I mentioned this on Friday's call, but I actually created a free group. So we have a free Facebook group right now. But the problem with the free Facebook group is you can't put any information in there because Facebook doesn't have a place where you can access any information. So I created a free school group. So this is for anybody who owns a cleaning business, and specifically a residential home cleaning business, or you want to grow a residential home cleaning business. And so that is getting released today. And so I actually haven't given the link to anybody else, so I'll just put it in the chat myself. So the rest of you guys can click that link, and the group is free. There is a couple modules inside there for information that can help you understand what we just showed you guys today. Like, if you want to understand how to have clients, how to have your new clients pay for your marketing, it's life-changing. And so you guys will also be able to see some of the people who are actually inside the paid coaching community, like Marie and Alyssa and Janessa, who else is on here, and Lucas and Bobby, Jessica and Kristen, who else is on here, Lori, Kayla Irby, Marcus Small. Like, you guys actually can see their results. So like, as much as like I love showing you guys my businesses, like who cares? Like you guys shouldn't care about my business. Like, what can it do for your business? And so those people who I just mentioned before, like they have given Katie and I the opportunity to be able to help them and show them exactly what we just showed you, how you can get your new clients to pay for your marketing. Every single one of them, same thing. They're able to put $1 into marketing, and they're able to get $3, $4, $5. Sometimes some people get more, but like in the beginning, like you're not going to be as good as Logan is, who's been doing it for 8 years now. Like you're not going to get 20 to 1. You're not going to get 7 to 1, 8 to 1 like I do every single week. It's just like you're just not. But you can start by getting like 2 to 1 or 3 to 1, and then you can get better, right? You can put $1 into marketing and get $2 back out. Like that's actually pretty good to start with. You can get paid $1 to market. And then as you get better, you get paid more and more dollars. Okay. And so that's like the big thing that I share inside there is just like, that's the biggest reason that we've been able to grow. And if you can figure that out, well, then yes, you're going to have problems behind that. But that's if you have that problem, you can get to $1 million because the other problems behind that are more solvable. But if you can't get your new clients to pay for your marketing, you're not going to get to $1 million business in a reasonable amount of time. If you want to do it in 20 years, be my guest. Like that's fine. I'm trying to help people get there in like 2 years. Okay, which is fast, by the way. Considering it took me 9 years, like we've had people inside this group who've got there in 2 years already, which is pretty cool. And like, I think 2 years is a reasonable amount of time. Reasonable amount of time. And so, yeah, so you guys can click on that. And even if you guys are inside inside the coaching program, you guys join as well, because you guys can push people into that group, because this is the problem that we've experienced lately, is that people are asking some of our current clients, they want to ask them questions and take up their time, and like they're trying to grow a freaking business, bro. Like I'm telling them, stop talking to you and like go talk to freaking clients, go talk to prospects, go talk to your office staff, go coach them. Okay? And so it's also a resource for you guys to be able to push people into, and then they can see what's required in order for them to utilize the system. And if they like it, cool. If they don't, that's totally fine too. Like, have you guys ever heard the concept of convergent thinking versus divergent thinking? So convergent thinking is like, there's like one right way to get to an answer, right? So like in school, we're taught convergent thinking. There's one answer. However, what I've discovered is in business, it's divergent thinking skills that are critical. And this is probably one of the reasons why Katie just mentioned earlier, like why C students typically are the entrepreneurs and why A students typically work for the C students, is because A students just want the answer. And C students realize that like there is no answer. It's just like, how do I figure out how do I just get this thing to work? And so when it comes to building $1 million business, there's lots of different ways you can do it. But we have built it a way. And so if you're a divergent thinker, you can get to $1 million. But divergent thinkers are like the minority. If you're a convergent thinker, which is the way that you were taught your whole life, that's the value of having a system to follow, is that like this thing works. Now you just need to understand how it works, why it works, and then you be able to work it yourself. And so that's where the speed of you growing $1 million business comes in faster, when you're able to just like follow a process, follow a system that's already been done. Okay. That's all I got. What do you got?
Nothing.
Katie's got
Appreciate
nothing.
you.
Katie's got nothing. Nothing. Well, I guess I got nothing either. So
I got internet problems to solve.
Yeah. I got all the problems. And I'm going to take them into my next call. So if you guys are already inside the coaching program, you guys are in the one-on-one coaching, we're going to do some sales coaching after this. And please get on that call, because I do have an announcement for that call as well. But again, if you guys haven't joined that free school group, that just literally be starting right now. There'll be some more people who will start to flow in there. There's a couple modules in there as well. Outside of that, the master class is in there as well. So hopefully it'll be a good resource for people to understand what the system is and seeing if they want to follow it. And if not, there's other ways you can get there. There's other people out there even who can help you get there. So appreciate you guys. We'll be back next week. We'll see if we can grow this thing again. And also, if you guys are inside the community, get on the road to 300K call tomorrow. That's Elias call. There's also going to be some changes to that call. All these changes, freaking changes, all these changes. So get on that call. We'll be announcing more changes for that call as well. And if you love change, you're going to love all the things that are happening. If you hate change, then man, entrepreneurship is tough. Because all it is change. It's just changing. And like, maybe change is even the right word. It's just evolving. It's just making it better. It's just like, it's progressive. And so I believe that if you look at your schedule 6 months ago, like you should be doing some different things today than you were 6 months ago. And then if you look at a year ago, like if you're doing exactly the same things that you have been over the last like 6 months and 1 year, or God forbid, 5 years, like it's tough to grow when you're doing the same things, guys. Like it is, right? So another way to audit whether you're growing or not is like, are you actually doing the same things? Are you having the same meetings with the same people? So I appreciate you guys. I can give you that free school group. Got to be a cleaning business owner. can only get in there if you're a cleaning business owner. This is it's not going to be a typical free group. It's only for cleaning business owners and who want to grow the residential cleaning business. Home cleaning business is different than commercial. It's different. Another red flag I see is when people are like, I do both. I'm like, usually a red flag, but the people who actually grow their businesses, they actually don't do commercial. They just do small office. That's what I've pinned. So then we just label it. We just have a term problem. So anyway, I appreciate you guys. Happy Monday. See you guys all tomorrow on the road to 300K call. I'll be on that call and I'll be sharing some news on there. If you guys are into the sales coaching, go get on that call right now. I'll see you guys over there. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.